Hello, my dear beloved children. Today we are starting a new topic, which can be conventionally called, How to Let the New World In. As you have learned from previous messages and from your own experience, this piece is already seeping into your life, independently of you. But you can speed up the process. Of course, first of all, you need to learn how to maintain your energy balance so that the process of your merging with the new world is organic and painless. So far, few people have been able to do this, because it is too serious a test for a person to live in the three-dimensional world and raise his consciousness to the heights of the fifth dimension. And this is especially difficult for those who live in big cities and whose environment not only does not support their spiritual aspirations, but does everything to lead them astray. But the paradox is, my dear ones, that there are no ideal conditions for spiritual development. And what's more, the more difficult the conditions, the faster you move forward. Many of you think that if you lived in a quiet, peaceful environment, enjoying the beauty of nature and communicating with like-minded people, you would quickly reach unprecedented heights in your self-improvement. In fact, this is not the case, as all spiritual riches are within you. They are hidden in your soul, and external factors can only help you to release them, but the key to them is stored in your heart and in your consciousness. True love and true spirituality lie not only in one's own self-perfection and endless pursuit of new heights, but in the ability to live among people in such a way as to become for them that island of light and love, where they could find rest from worldly worries and where they could receive wise advice and heartfelt concern. That is why thousands of great souls have come to your planet now, not only to go through their own unique experience of ascension in a physical body with the earth, but also to help others rise to the level of consciousness that will allow them to do so. And many of those who are reading this message now are such pieces, the golden fund of humanity. But before you lead others, you need to understand the most important thing: not words, but only your own example can create a real miracle, to direct people's consciousness into the divine channel. Only when they understand how different the life of a person in the three-dimensional world is from the life of a person who lives according to the laws of the universe, will they be ready to accept the new knowledge and begin to apply it in practice. Therefore, I ask you, my dear ones, to live the way you would like to live in your dreams, here and now, remembering every minute that you are able to bring closer, to let a new long-awaited life into yourself, just being in a state of spiritual balance, despite all the worldly hurricanes and human passions fanned around you. Become that indestructible rock against which all the negative energies of the three-dimensional world will break, turning into fountains of splashes of light and love. The Father Absolute, who loves you immensely, has spoken to you. Hello, my dear beloved children. Today I would like to continue the conversation about the new people who have recently appeared on your earth. They, like natural phenomena, are manifestations of the fifth dimension on the physical plane, but they differ in that they have to interact closely with people of the three-dimensional world, who are not at all ready for such a neighborhood. Moreover, these new people are often perceived by others as hostile, like black sheep, and everything they do and say seems abnormal and frightening to others. This has always been the case for thousands of years. Anyone who strays from the herd is perceived as an outsider. This continues to this day. But have you noticed, my dear, how selective such an attitude can be? It is pure and extremely sincere people who often cause anger and aggression, and people who are deliberately outrageous, fake, with perverted tastes and predilections, are elevated to heroes. Why is this happening? First of all, because it is in the interest of the dark ones who still hold power in your world. They try by all means available to them to play on the lowest human passions, thereby preventing people from developing spiritually. And so far, they have succeeded. This will continue until the old system of governing the world collapses and is replaced by a new one, which will be based on completely different principles of relations between people. But until that happens, you need, my dear ones, to maintain an energetic balance so that slowly but surely the scales move towards the light. In my messages it has been said more than once that it is only through you, the people who are in physical bodies, that the higher forces are able to most effectively transmit high vibrational energies to Earth. Therefore, invoke the energies of the fifth dimension as often as possible and pass them through all your bodies. In this way, you will soak up them yourself and at the same time fill the entire space around you with them. This will help the people around you to change their consciousness without them noticing, gradually moving with the Earth into the new era. And the last thing I would like to tell you today. Try, my dear, not to treat it as work, but to be creative. Turn on your imagination, remember your childhood, play wizards. Only then will you achieve really good results. Always remember that excessive seriousness carries energies of lower vibrations than imagination and fantasy, a sense of humor and good irony, joy and fun. So fill your life and the lives of those around you with the light sparkling energies of the fifth dimension wherever you are. I bless you for that. The Father Absolute, who loves you immensely, has spoken to you. Hello, my dear beloved children. In order to conclude the conversation about the new people who have appeared on your planet during this crucial period for it, I would like to talk today about the qualities that are the key to the fact that these people will be able to fulfill their mission on Earth. It may surprise you, but these qualities are lightness, cheerfulness, a sense of humor, spontaneity, and endless optimism. This is what makes not only your life happy, but also the lives of the people around you. On the other hand, excessive seriousness can kill any good initiative, because in itself it carries energies of rather low vibrations. And today I'm going to explain to you why this is happening. Many of you associate seriousness with responsibility, which have become almost synonymous in your world. Think about how often you say, "He's a very serious and responsible person." And what image does this image come to you after such a characterization? Most likely, you imagine someone boring and rather boring, who pulls the burden of responsibility for himself and for others, doesn't he? But in fact, an easy and cheerful person can be no less responsible, but only he goes through life easily and cheerfully, and everything turns out playfully for him. A serious person, as a rule, hardly bears his burden of responsibility, bending under its weight, which does not bring joy to him or his loved ones. And all the personal qualities of a person are especially noticeable right now, when all your emotions are sharpened, life problems are aggravated and the lessons that you have to go through at an accelerated pace become more complicated. The esoteric world, which draws more and more people into its orbit, is no exception. Here, seriousness is manifested in endless moralizing, long and boring discussions on topics already known to everyone, which are often presented in a mentoring tone, which excessively inflates the pride of the teacher. But since people are accustomed to the fact that spiritual teachings are something very serious and complex, and that a spiritual teacher is akin to a celestial, they listen to him with reverence and create another idol for themselves, which is to the detriment of both him and them. Believe me, my dear ones, it is precisely this seriousness and awareness of one's own importance that cannot be overcome by many light souls who have come to Earth for the purpose of awakening humanity. It seems to them that if they have come into contact with the divine knowledge, and even more so if they have begun to receive information from the higher forces of the universe, they should be filled with seriousness and responsibility, which means that they should forget about jokes and fun. They have come out to the great service, which means that everything that is characteristic of an ordinary person must be alien to them. That's what many of you think, and that's your big mistake. It is by entering the service that you need to become simple and accessible, so that any person can feel that you are the same as him, and that the higher forces of the universe and your galactic family are not some distant, unreachable celestials, but your near and dear souls, with whom you can communicate easily and freely. The merging of the worlds is already in full swing, and you need to do everything in order to enter the new life of the fifth dimension as a cheerful and friendly family, and not as a society of highly spiritual people drowning in long and boring discussions on the topic of ascension. And I bless you for that, my dear ones. The Father Absolute, who loves you immensely, has spoken to you.